project was a competition for a graduation hall at Plaatje University in Kimberley, South Africa. Kimberley is best known as the site of the big hole excavated in the diamond rush of the late 1800s. The university is one of two new universities to be set up in post-apartheid South Africa to increase access to higher education, and has been designed as an open campus integrated into the fabric of Kimberley. The city becomes the university and the university the city. This spatial integration is a critical strategy in relation to the university being a driver of urban regeneration and contributing to the economic, social, and cultural life of the town. With the first phase of buildings completed, the university is embarking on the next phase of campus development, the North Campus, in line with its campus development framework, which includes a graduation hall as the focal building placed within an existing civic hub. This is a two-stage design competition. These are the conceptual images generated in the first stage of the competition. The design was required to demonstrate an understanding of a series of conceptual issues relating to memory as a spatial informant, the place of the university within the city, transformation of the tertiary teaching mission, and an environmental consciousness. A further consideration was how to enable a hybrid campus connecting the spaces of the individual with the group, and how the building would enable celebrations and gatherings. The site of the North Campus, the Oppenheimer Gardens, holds a complex spatial memory relating to a history of forced removal starting in 1949, when a multicultural and mixed-race area was razed and the residents relocated. And the civic buildings of the apartheid era that replaced it in the 1950s, buildings that spoke to the power the nationalist government sought to embed in the urban realm. The gardens were planned along axial, formal, colonial planning principles. But beneath this layer are the remnants of a destroyed community, the Malay camp. The graduation hall was required to respond to this complex heritage with a nuanced spatial response, and to reimagine the symbolic nature of a graduation hall, where the contestation of colonial and apartheid symbols is highly charged. Thinking about these layers as conceptually representing fragmentary memories of Malay camp, this layer could be lifted, folded, and fractured, revealing the elements of the layers below: the surface of a prayer mat, the mahjong tile, the former street pattern. The campus unfolds as a series of urban rooms, with the graduation hall as a pavilion building forming a backdrop to the activity of the plaza and the gardens. The plaza is considered as a civic carpet that links the surrounding civic buildings and defines the edges of the spaces. The site is fractured, folded, layered to conceal and reveal the underlying archaeological memories and reinscribe them into the plaza and building. Considering the carpet fabric as consisting of warp and weft, lines that generate the grid of the facade expressed as screen and arcade, and the generator of the internal seating grid. The form of the building is fractured. A line of the former street is taken into the building, separating the hall from elements that require an open edge functionality, the cafe and shop. The corners of the building, housing circulation and services, are considered as markers, abstracted memories of the bell towers and minarets of the Malay camp. This fracture is expressed as a wall of memory, inscribed with the layers of buried archaeological fabric that are revealed as the piles of the new building penetrate the earth. The roof of the building is a folded map, creating a fractured roofscape that captures energy through PV cells and channels rainwater for use in the building. The graduation hall will be the first building on the North Campus of the university. It is envisaged as an iconic building that would spatially, visually, and experientially connect the university to the civic core of Kimberley. It is a major investment in bricks and mortar, the physical, at a time where universities were at the forefront of the great online experiment during COVID. It incorporates the university's most public functions, a graduation hall, exhibition space, and offices. As a multifunctional building, it plays a role in both everyday use and hosting important events in the university's calendar. Most importantly, it is a space that plays an important symbolic role in the life of the university. The plan of the building is able to open up to both the plaza and the gardens, with these urban spaces extending the space of the building. The architecture of the building supports us through arcaded edges that allow the cafe and gallery to spill onto the pavement, and allowing parts of the building to function independently of the larger space as smaller teaching venues and supporting events in the plaza and gardens. Physical flexibility and adaptability are core principles of the hybrid campus. The space of the hall facilitates a variety of uses, from exams to Saturday school and career exhibitions. The building functions as a public space within the university and within the city. It is a scene for a multitude of uses, from markets to protests to picnics on the lawn, from the space of the individual to the gathering of the crowd. The design of the building, in terms of its flexibility and its edge conditions, facilitates this multifunctionality. As a town hall, the graduation hall hosts a variety of events during the academic year. It is the civic heart of the campus and acts as a hinge between the plaza and gardens. It enables and facilitates functions and events through the use of various amenities that support its civic functionality. As a place, it takes on a significance as a marker in life, the backdrop to photographs, from Instagram to graduation photographs. In South Africa, storytelling is deeply embedded in our being, and we are required to build new common narratives. Just as the physical environment builds on multiple layers of reference to memory, it is also a place where new individual stories and memories are forged. The building is the backdrop to the life of the university. The graduation hall is a place of arrival and thus a space of transcendence. February 2024, the Vice-Chancellor is welcoming new students starting their studies at Plaatje University. Groups of students stand nervously in the plaza, waiting to be called into the hall space. The doors of the hall are rolled open, and the new students file in to take their seats to be addressed by the Vice-Chancellor, marking their beginning of the journey at Plaatje University. Graduation 2028. It's dusk, and braziers have been lit. The building glows from the inside, transforming the space into a magical space of transcendence. Selfies are being taken as students pose in their graduation gowns with their proud families. It is time to make the final step in their journey at Plaatje University. Those without tickets to the event stand in the plaza, which forms an extended foyer to the building, watching the screens on the building facade. The excitement and gravitas of the event is shared by the wider university community. This is the story of designing a graduation hall for Plaatje University, as a piece of social infrastructure, a piece of civic infrastructure, acting as a bridge between the university and the city, a place that facilitates beginnings and endings. Thank you.